About a sin that every Christian commits. One of the biggest struggles that we have, and it's called worry. And what I want to talk to you about is how not to be a worry wart. You know, a wart's nasty, it's bothersome and painful, ugly looking. That's like worry in our lives. Jesus tells us about worry in Matthew chapter 6. This is what he says. Therefore, I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you'll eat or drink, or about your body, what you'll wear. Is not life more important than food, and the body more important than clothes? He says, look at the birds of the air. They do not sow or reap or store away in barns, yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are they not much more valuable than they? Who are you by worrying can add a single hour to his life? So the first thing he tells you, as far as a wart goes, W-A-R-T, is watch your point of reference. What are you looking at? Are you looking at the problem or the problem solver? Like David of old, Israel saw the giant, but David looked beyond the giant to the giant killer and trusted in God. So are you focused in on the problem or focused in on the problem solver? There isn't anything he can't do because he creates all things, controls all things, therefore he can do all things. So number one, watch your point of reference. Watch your perspective. Don't focus in on the problem. Focus in on the problem solver. Just like Israel of old was looking at the Red Sea, backs against it, mountains on either side, Pharaoh closing in. But Moses said, no, my God can part that sea and make a way where there's no way. God can make a way where there's no way. Second thing Jesus says, why do you worry about your clothes? See how the lilies of the field grow. They don't labor or spin, yet I tell you that not even Solomon in all of his splendor was dressed like one of these. If that is how God clothes the grass of the field, which is here today, and tomorrow it is thrown in the fire, will he not much more clothe you, O ye of little faith? Next thing we need to do is accept the providence of God. W, watch your perspective. A, accept the providence of God. God is in control of all things. He raises the sun. Causes it to go down. He controls and sustains all things by the power of his word. So you accept whatever you're in, that God has brought it, and he has brought it out of love. He can do nothing outside of what his very core nature is, and that's love. So let's look at the R. So watch your perspective, accept the providence of God, which means he controls all things. The R is replace your priorities. So do not worry saying, what shall we eat, or what shall we drink, or what shall we wear? For the pagans run after these things, and your heavenly Father knows that you need them. But seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. James says this, you don't receive because you don't ask. And when you ask with wrong motives. Jesus says, what's your priorities? Are you a kingdom builder? Are you here on this planet recognizing the fact that God saved you, not to just sit, soak, sour, and just accumulate stuff, but he wants you to be kingdom-minded, to where we're out, we're witnessing, our lives are a letter read by all, and people can see the glory of Jesus in our lives. Are you a kingdom builder? Are you a kingdom-minded person? Time, talent, tithe. The last thing, T. Today prevails. So W, watch your perspective. A, accept the providence of God. R, replace your priorities. Make sure you're kingdom-minded and not earthly-minded. And then T, today prevails. Why worry about tomorrow, which you cannot control, and ruin what God has given you to enjoy today? Don't worry about tomorrow. Today was the tomorrow you worried about yesterday. Was it worth it? Don't worry about tomorrow. God's already there. Jesus says, therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. So don't be worried, wart. Jesus says God clothes the flowers of the field. He feeds the birds of the air. He's going to give you everything you need, and then some. You just trust him. Watch your perspective. Don't focus in on the problem, but the problem solver. God behind the problem. Jesus said if you have enough faith, you can move mountain-sized problems. Accept the providence of God. Everything is under his control, so I don't have to worry about it. Replace your priorities. Make sure you're focused in on building his kingdom, and then you just enjoy today. Today is all we have. Be blessed.